Do you want to know how you could stop wasting your money so that you could live the wealthy life you always wanted? I was exactly there 15 years ago, and today I'm gonna share with you what I exactly did to stop wasting my money and become finally wealthy and live the lifestyle I always wanted. Hello, my name is Livia. This is Thrive Tank TV, the place to be to achieve your dreams in business and life. Thrive Tank TV always has subjects on wealth creation, entrepreneurship, achieving your dreams in business and life. Now I'm going to tell you a story 15 years ago. I was in a shop, in a home decoration shop, and I saw this beautiful wreath. In today's dollars, that was about $500, but it was for sale for only $250. And guess what? I immediately bought it. I didn't even think if I had the money and if it was a smart thing to do. I just felt like I needed to buy it. It was so beautiful, and I was going to convince my husband that it was a really good buy. But on my way home, while driving home, I already felt this nagging feeling like, maybe I made a mistake. How am I going to convince him? So I came home and I showed him full of pride this wreath. But indeed, he wasn't very much convinced. And he said, Olivia, I think you should start doing the bills and you should start finding out how much we actually make and how much we actually spend. And he was totally right. For years, I didn't want to know how much we actually had or how much we spent. I didn't even want to touch the bills. I didn't want to pay them. I was in total denial. Yes, I had 2 jobs and my husband was working about 7 days a week and we were struggling financially. But that was for a couple of reasons. We were struggling financially because I had no clue how to stop wasting money and finally save so much and invest so much so that one day I could live the wealthy life I always wanted. And I never actually took the action to do it until that day. That day that my husband confronted me and I realized maybe I should take control from today. And that's what I did. I decided that day to take control over my money. I decided from today, my money doesn't control me anymore. I'm going to control my money and I'm going to find out how I can do that so that one day I could be wealthy the way I wanted. Now, how did I do that? First of all, if I look back, I created a word which is called stop. Every time when I wanted to go to a store and buy something, I just turned around and I didn't go there. But then I found an even better technique because I realized that I had created a habit of every Saturday I was going to go shopping alone with family members or friends. And it was so much fun to go shopping. But at the end of the day, I always spent much more than I wanted. So I said, what else can I do? Because if I want to be wealthy one day, I cannot continue like that. At that time, I was already doing the same thing for 15 years. And even though I had 2 jobs and my husband was working for 7 days a week, we were still getting by. So I thought, if this continues another 8 to 10 years, this is going to be a really problem. So I have to change here and find out what I can do. So I decided to do one thing. I learned a lot. And in those books that I learned seminars, books, started with a lot of books, reading actually, seminars on money, business and investing. And the first thing what I learned was to stop immediate gratification. And that was exactly what I did. Immediately, I gratified myself. Whenever I had my salary, I immediately spent it. Stopping immediate gratification meant that whenever I had my money, I needed to allocate it to different buckets and places. To know more about it, to save in the right way, go and watch my video, How to Be Good with Your Money. So yes, stopping immediate gratification was my biggest challenge at the time. Because that was the way I thought. I thought like 95% of the people. And 95% of the people happen to be also having an average lifestyle. But those 5% who were living the way I wanted, they had a different way of thinking and a different way of doing. So I realized that I have to change some habits. So first of all, I had to stop spending and start saving more. And then the difference that I had to start investing it. So imagine the difference that makes if you stop spending, so stop taking less out of your pocket, start keeping more in your pocket, getting more interest on it, growing it, and then investing it in things that gives you like 10 or 12% interest rate. What a difference does that make, whether you spend it or you get up to 10% or more interest on it. So that was the big shift that I made, that I decided I'm going to stop immediate gratification. Now, how did I do that? I did that by learning tools and techniques. Now, of course, I didn't know them myself. I had to learn it from others who did know how to do it, who had already the situation that I wanted. So I started learning from books, from seminars, and I started to get mentoring and coaching from people who were where I wanted to be. And that changed everything for me because I realized I was doing everything wrong. I was thinking the wrong way. I was thinking like the majority, and the majority isn't wealthy. I was doing like the majority, and the majority, spending more than saving or investing. And I actually had a very short-term way of looking at the things. I didn't think long-term, because if you want immediate gratification, you don't think of the consequences. You only think of what you want now and how you want to feel now. Like I wanted to feel wealthy immediately by buying this worth of $500 made me feel kind of wealthy. But in reality, it made me lose money. So once I learned the tools and the techniques, I applied them immediately in my life. That meant actually that I was doing exactly the opposite that I always used to do. So what was that? I changed my habits. I changed the way I thought about money. I changed my relationship with money. I changed how I saved. I changed how I allocated. I changed how I invested my money, how I grew my money, how I spent my days. All those things, I changed them. And last but not least, I decided, and it stands for the P of stop, to take power over my money instead of my money taking power over me. Because that's what happens with most people, and it happened also with me, and probably also with you. That your money has more power over you than you over your money. Because if you have a lack of money, you'll feel distressed. But at the same time, when you have plenty of it, you'll feel so happy. And at the same time, it's a temporary feeling, because when you spend it, that happiness is gone immediately. So I decided that I would take charge and I would take the power over my money instead of the money taking power over me. So that I would manage it in a proper way, so that I would grow it in a proper way, so that I would spend it in a smart way. And all the things you can do too. So let's recapitulate what I said. And it stands all for a very simple word, stop. So the S for stop immediate gratification. Start saving and investing the difference of what you don't spend. The T for the tools and the techniques that you can learn from others that have achieved already what you want to achieve. By books, reading books. If you don't have a lot of money, you can go and get books. And then later, when you save more, you can go and follow seminars and courses. But we live today in a world that you have access to so much information. But I'm, of course, going to continue sharing in videos with you in YouTube. So you'll be able to follow us. And these are for free. So enjoy it. So then the O from stop stands for doing the opposite. Doing the opposite of what 95% of the people do. The way they spend their time, the way they spend their money, and the habits they have around money, and the way they think about money. And then the P, taking power over your money instead of letting money taking power over you. That means you control your emotions. When you feel like spending, you don't spend it. Does it make sense? So remember the word stop. Whenever you feel like spending, decide from now on, this is it. I'm going to decide to control my money so that one day I could be wealthy and live the life I always wanted. Let me know which one of the tips and ideas from this video you like most and share it in the comments below so others can enjoy it as well. Now remember, it's the small things that you do daily that help you achieve the happiness, success and wealth you want. By the way, I have a free gift that you can enjoy on our website thrivetank.com. It's a 6-series video of highly successful people. It's actually about the 6 secret habits. You know, I discovered all over the years that at the time when I wasn't so successful, I did a lot of things different than when I became successful. And that's because I learned a lot of new habits and ways of thinking from books and seminars that I all compiled in those 6 videos. I'm sure you will love it. It has a value of about $297, and today you can get it free, so go out there and get it. Now remember, I believe in you. Unleash the diamond within and share your brilliance and go out there and shine, because the world needs the beauty. That's you.